Hey guys, what's going on? Odharma here, and welcome back to episode number 49 of my Level Up series, where I take Hashtag Utd through the levels of the footballing pyramid. Now, as always, before we get into today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you would take the time to hit the subscribe button if you're interested in daily Football Manager content. I'm super excited. It's the start of a fresh season, our first time ever in the National League, the National League proper. We've got obviously the summer transfer window to talk about before we get into today's first game of the season. So let's hit the transfer history. First of all, we need to go back one though, because I don't know if I showed you. Oh, he's not here actually. Wait. Yeah. Okay. So, in fact, we'll go for the outs first. So, Sean Meakin gone on a free to Witten. We didn't really use him. He only played 3 games. He's not too bad though, rating wise. Didn't really do much for us in the games that he played. I don't really think he enjoyed playing up top on his own and in an unfamiliar position to him, that being a pressing forward. So they've got a nice little player. I think he'll do pretty well for them as well. Then unfortunately we lost our superstar Saul Shutton. Very, very disappointing. Just couldn't agree a deal for a contract, for a part-time contract. And then Blackburn come calling, and then when Blackpool come calling, you don't really turn it down. He's gone to there for 1,000 per week, which is obviously a lot more than what he was on. He was on it's on basically double what he was on at ours. So fair play to him. I'm sure he's going to go on to have a very, very good career, because he's a really, really good player. So that was a big blow. Then we've got Elise, who's gone to rugby on a free. Not played too much last season, so bit of a shame. I would have kept him, to be honest, because I think he's quite decent. For a backup anyway. But unfortunately got snapped up by rugby. He's on £190 per week contract now, which is probably better for him, a bit more stable, because he wasn't really getting much money because he was on a non-contract appearance-based thing. So fair play to him. And then Jordan Graben's gone on a free. Again, I didn't really want to pay the numbers that he wanted from us. I didn't think he was of the quality enough to be earning I think it was about 500 odd. That's what he wanted, 500 odd a week, and obviously he's only ended up on 375 per week at Colchester. But obviously he's playing for a much more established football club. And yeah, I still hope, he has a solid career. He really performed well late on to last season, so I don't hold any grudges. You got to do what you got to do for your own career. He's certainly done that, so fair play to him. And then we have our first real big fee. Well, I say big fee, it is for us. Brendan Sarpong's gone to Scunthorpe for £65,000, 50,000 up front. They came in for a bid initially of 50,000. Then I said to him, no, you stay in. Then he kicked up a bit of a fuss. Then I had to have a meeting with the squad. And then I was like, okay, I'll back down. I'll back down so long as there's a reasonable offer. So I managed to eke it out to 65k overall. 65k. It was 65k. We put 50k up front. So that's helped us. Helped our bank balance out. Obviously, we've won the FA Trophy as well. Our finances are looking a lot more healthy than they've ever been before, which is good. So then we can switch gears to the good stuff. Joe Dandy just joining straight after the end of last season or the start of this season on a free. Backup centre back. Not great, but should be alright for a backup, I think. He's on a non-contract. He's on about £200 per appearance, so chump change for us at this point. Then we have the big one. Jordan Edwards does sign for us. on £675 per week, which is a lot more, I think, than he was on. I think he was on about 400 and something last season. But yeah, he's penned a 2-year contract. I'm just hoping that this was worth it and that he's going to have another good season. I do have faith in him. He's going to score goals for us this season. We need that if we want any chance of staying up. We have one on a loan from Notts County, Mohamed Hassan. Just to fill a player, just a bit of squad depth. Not bad for a midfielder. Defending's quite poor, but he's a deep line playmaker. He's got some okay stats for this level. Really, nothing to write home about. Then Harvey Barrett, on loan from Charlton, a much more well developed player, as you can tell. Again, just bodies. We need bodies. Paying £500 a week for him, which isn't ideal, but he was solid enough for me to justify. If you put him up against Sarpong, I don't think there's too much difference in quality between the two, so we'll go with it. Then we had a little signing of Doug Denier out on the left wing for us now, which is a much needed position. He came up, a scout recommended him. I saw him, I was like, he's solid. He's pacey, not too bad technicals, out on the wing. We'll give him a go. £500 a week, 2.5 star. He's only got a season on his contract, so if he's a pile of excrement, he'll get binned off anyway, so we'll see. But I think he'll do a pretty good job for us. I'm quite convinced. And Tim Monday, we had this dragged on for so long. We seen him, then we put in a bid for him, and he kept taking trials from bigger teams than us. He just kept going, kept taking bigger trials, or trials at bigger teams, and then finally, just like a week ago, he finally signed for us on a non-contract. Probably look to make this a part-time contract actually at some point this season, because I don't want to get him. He looks like really good. He's going to develop into a really good player. Mentals are very good, physicals are good, technicals need work, but for someone who's 19, he's really good. Very promising prospect for us. Can play, look how many positions he can play in the midfield perfectly, so he's arguably I'd say Edwards, obviously, for what he did last season, is our star player, but this is our best youth prospect, I would say. And then finally, we have Matthew Dickinson, who's just going to be a backup left back now that Elise's gone. Kind of similar mould type of player, with decent physicals. So yeah, he's on a non-contract. He's on about £200 appearance, I think. Maybe even I think he might be on 180 or something. So decent. And now switch gears then. Let's have a look at the season preview. So we're predicted to finish mid-table and 16th. The highest out of all the promoted teams. I think that's about right. I think we can do that. It's achievable. The teams that I'm looking at around us, Stalybridge, we can beat. Brackley, we know we can beat Welling. Surprises that Stevenage is predicted to go relegated, since they used to be a Football League team a few years back. Same with Morecambe being down there, Football League team. It's such a weird league, this, because it's sort of like Plymouth. Plymouth have got big budgets. Yeovil were in the Championship, less than 10 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, 2013. Well, yeah, 10 years ago. So, it's mad. Torquay established football team. Wrexham have been. Boston, York have been in recent times. Hartlepool have. Aldershot, just a lot of teams. But these teams like Bromley, Chorley, Stalybridge, Brackley, Welling, Maidstone, Bournemouth, Harrogate, we can we can beat these sorts of teams. I'm pretty convinced. Woking, who we're actually playing today, even though they're predicted to obviously get promoted, that'll be a good place for us to start and see kind of where we're at. If we beat Woking, we are away from home as well, then we know we're on for a decent season. If we get smashed, then we know, we're looking towards the bottom half of the table finish. But without further ado, let's just get into the first game against Woking. So it's some exciting times for us. Our opening game in the Vanarama National League, playing against Woking, who are looking towards winning the league, for sure, securing playoffs from the looks of it. Okay, we'll go for this team. We'll submit it. Solid. It's weird now that the players actually have numbers on the shirts for the first time, which is really cool to see. They've been assigned shirt numbers. As you know, Lee Johnson is number 2. I auto-numbered it, and Lee Johnson for some reason came out number 2. I don't know why. He's supposed to be a winger, but we'll go with it. I just don't even know. But we're underway now. Flaherty, one of our ex-players there. I think that Woking have actually got a couple of our ex-players. But Flaherty's just really, really good. Kirkin, there's the other one. Kirkin was really good as well, defender. I remember we got him in season number 1, I think, or season number 2. So good. I mean, we'd take him now all day long. Look at them stats. Just very, very accomplished. Flaherty, look at that technique. 16. That is just mental for a guy in the National League. So we need to be wary, because we know he has got quality that can really do some damage to us if we're not paying attention. Suwumi nearly heading that ball in. We had a few actual close calls in regards to signings. There was this goalkeeper that was very similar to Scott in how the stats weren't necessarily in the same areas per se, but like the quality wise was on that level. He was like 20, and we were going to go big as well on a part-time contract to like £900 a week. I wasn't going to take a chance on it, because I could just see like him just being what a strike by Johnson. I could see him being our goalkeeper for years to come. So I was like, I'm just going to go in with a big offer straight off the bat. He dilly-dallied with it, and then he ended up going with, I can't remember who it was now. Who was it? I can't remember. With I want to say Colchester, but I don't think it was Colchester. It was a Football League team. And he was in the under 23s. He was taking a lot less money, not a lot less, but a bit less than what we were offering. But you win some, you lose some, I suppose. But that would have been a brilliant. I know we've got Rowley, to be fair, and he's very, very good. But when I seen him come up, I just couldn't not go for it. He was that good that I couldn't have missed that opportunity. I would have kicked myself had I not at least tried to sign him. So it didn't work out, unfortunately, but we need to focus on this game anyway, because I've not been paying all that much attention. Richards, what can he do with it? Back to Melbourne. Melbourne floats one in. Yes, Lee Johnson is there. The hero. Oh, yes, it had to be. What a way to start off the season, Lee Johnson. The main man. Melbourne floating across. Lovely little crossing. Kirkin should have done better. Lee Johnson, the big man. rises first, puts that one home. Puts us nicely 1-0 up here. Navarro caught that one. It was a fierce shot. Joe Dandy's not having too much bad of a game actually. Obviously he's going to be figuring in now that Shotton has left. The plan was obviously for Dandy to be a backup with on a resay, but not to be. But we're looking good so far. Johnson's looking tired, so let's look to sub him. Go like that, and then Denier. We'll go for that. Could do with another striker really. We haven't got much in the way of attacking options right now. Something I need to try and keep an eye out for if we can. So if I feel like I'm exhausted, I did spend a lot of time this transfer window looking through the loan market and free agents, seeing if I can find some players, but it's been difficult. We've gotten some really good players, but it has been difficult. Oh no! Why? It's so frustrating. Marley Blair. What a mistake. What a mistake. Oh, Denier. Come on, boys. Let's get one late. Go on, my son. Into Richards. Oh, come on. That's gonna be it, isn't it? Full time then. In the opening game of the season. Woking won. Hashtag United won. Unfortunate not to take home the 3 points. Yeah, let them know we did appreciate their effort. It's a good opening game performance, really. Just that mistake at the end cost us. Obviously, it makes us right slap bang in the middle in 12th place. Obviously, extremely early doors right now. But obviously, as per usual, we like to get into the nitty gritty of the season, so we'll probably play a few games. We'll come back at some point in September, probably slap bang in the middle, maybe against Maidstone and Brackley. I think that's a good time to come back, so if you enjoyed the start of season number 6, leave a like, dislike it if you disliked it, comment if you want to comment on it, subscribe if you want to subscribe. Thank you all again very much for watching, and I hope to see you in episode number 50. Cheers.